Twitter war widens as Apple jumps in. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is another declaration of truth from your host, Terry A. Hurlbut. Yesterday, Apple jumped into the Twitter war on the side of censorship. Elon Musk confirmed that Apple has threatened to remove the Twitter app from the Apple App Store. He gave no reason, which they never do. Musk had already observed that Apple charges a development fee of 30% of all revenues that any developer takes in through the App Store. Apparently, Elon is through cooperating with Apple and has openly declared war against it. Before I deliver the briefing, I do want to shout out to the prime sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views. Link in the description. Be sure to check out the awesome CNAV Store. Scroll down near the bottom for that link. Lots of great merchandise there, including this t-shirt that I have chosen for today, which quotes Ronald Reagan speaking in 1975. He said, "If fascism ever comes to America, it will come in the name of liberalism," which it has done. Elon Musk will be one of the first heroes or martyrs in the war against it. One more thing. If you like what you're about to hear, you can like this video. You can also click the bell icon to get a notice every time I come out with a new one. In fact, do you see the new icon, the heart shape with the US dollar sign in it? That's the super thanks icon. If you really want to keep these videos coming, click that and leave me a tip. Any currency will do so long as it's legal tender. No reportage this time. Everything I am about to share comes directly from Twitter, except for a link from Gab News and a link to a couple of images I'm hosting. First, I'm going to go through 9 tweets about Apple's threat to disallow the Twitter app. You will find all these tweets in the description. At 9:45 a.m. Pacific time, Elon Musk noted that Apple had virtually ended all their advertising on Twitter. Then he called out Apple's current CEO, Tim Cook, asking him, and I quote, "What's going on here?" Close quote. The developers of a content-sharing app called LBRY, pronounced Libri, thought they knew why. They shared with Elon that during the time that Anthony S. Fauci and company had the country paralyzed with fright over the virus that shall remain nameless, Apple demanded that they filter away certain search terms as the price for allowing the app in their store. When Elon asked what terms, Libri answered that they had to filter out everything relating to the virus that shall remain nameless, especially regarding various immunization preparations and anything that contradicted the Wuhan wet market bat suit theory. The developers built a list of 20 terms that Apple users were forbidden to use. And you know what? Apple still knocked them off the store because some users were using a cartoon character called Pepe the Frog in their messages. I mean, really. So Elon, quoting Libri's first tweet, asked everybody, quote, "Whom else has Apple censored?" Close quote. Well, he got an earful, including a message from me, reminding him that Apple and Google both disallowed the Gab social app. Today, if you want to use Gab on your phone, you must create a browser shortcut. But some users warned him that this was a fight he couldn't win. One user said Apple might disallow the app for accessing a Tesla car. Elon Musk essentially dared them to do this. Then he commissioned a poll asking whether Apple ought to disclose all censorship actions that have affected its customers. About an hour into polling time, I counted 750,000 votes cast. 85% said yes. Then, at 10:43 a.m. Pacific time, Elon Musk acknowledged the latest threat by Apple, meaning the disallowing the app from the App Store. Immediately thereafter, he quoted another tweet saying that Apple exacts a 30% developer's fee from any developer seeing more than $1 million in annual revenues through its store. Well, understandably, Elon refuses. He tweeted an electronically retouched image of an interstate highway exit. His message, rather than pay the 30%, I'm going to war. Well, I'm sorry, but I cannot include that tweet in the description because sometime yesterday afternoon, Elon, who else would do it, deleted the tweet. I guess he didn't want to label himself as the kind of guy who would cut you off when you're trying to get off a super highway. Whatever. Well, as I said, that's 9 tweets all about this threat, the lead up to it, and Elon's response. The next question, of course, is, will Apple carry out the threat? Some users doubt that. I'm going to go through 4 tweets giving reaction, all of which I've linked to in the description. One user pointed out that Apple still carries the Parler and Truth Social apps. He wanted to know, what exactly did Apple say along the line of threatening to disallow Twitter? And I haven't seen anything in response. Another user remembered Elon Musk actually saying he might design and offer a smartphone of his own. This user created a poll asking other users whether they would buy. 55% said yes. One user shared an animated image with a caption rather crudely questioning Apple's courage. This I do not have in the description because someone, I don't know who, has deleted the tweet. But by the most incredible minor miracle, I was able to screen cap it. And I've left a link in the description to where you can view the image. I have to warn you though, it is a pretty crude anatomical metaphor for courage. It's about a certain body part that normally comes in pairs. We'll leave it at that. Still another user suggested that Twitter's refusal to block coverage of the civil disorder in China might have prompted Apple's threat. Curious timing, this user said. First, Twitter refuses to block news of the China protests. Next comes word that protesters literally broke out of an Apple manufacturing plant in China where the authorities, with Apple's acquiescence, had literally locked them in like sardines. Then, Twitter refuses to suppress news of the protests, which is how I was able to report to you yesterday about the China disorders. And last, Apple threatens to punish Twitter as a result. Now remember, Apple didn't say why, but hey, you gotta wonder. The last reaction tweet has a chart showing where employees of big tech firms sent their political donations for last midterms. This chart likely came out before Elon Musk took Twitter over because you'll find that Twitter was second only to Netflix in nearly all its workforce giving to Democrats. Apple came in 4th place with 97.5% of employee contributions going to Democrats, which the user pointed out, saying that Twitter allowing free speech went against the interests of the Democratic Party, so Apple chose to play enforcer because that's where their staff are coming from. Now, while all this is going on, here's Andrew Torba at Gab, watching from the sidelines and even indulging in schadenfreude. Before I dive into that story, I want to shout out to a sponsor who can really help you through the economic storms to come. That sponsor is OurSilverLines.com. Do you feel that you're working harder for your money just to get by? You're not alone. The fluctuating economy, employment issues, and unexpected changes in life have left many families struggling over the past few years. Collecting gold and silver can help shield you against many of these challenges. But if you're like me, many years ago, you don't know where or how to start. Our Silver Lines helps by connecting you with thousands of members who are learning the secrets to creating and protecting true wealth by collecting precious metals. Now, whether you just want to collect the rare and unique coins or take advantage of the business opportunities this company provides, they can help you learn to live an exceptional life. Visit OurSilverLines.com to learn how you can build a legacy for your future. Now then, First, I've left a link in the description to an image that Andrew Torba left on his Telegram channel, making fun of Elon. When Elon Musk worries about Apple throwing Twitter off its App Store, Andrew Torba asks what an App Store is. To make it more interesting, Elon's avatar is a German Shepherd dog, and Andrew's avatar, well, let's see. I think it's a timber wolf. Well, it's all white, and it has a wolf's head and a wolf's body, rearing up on its hind legs and showing off a lot of muscle. The idea is that while Elon is tame, Andrew is wild, therefore free. And no, I do not rely on that image staying on Telegram. Andrew or someone has played so many games with the posts on that channel that I can't trust him to host his messages even for 24 hours. So I downloaded the image and I'm hosting it, noting duly that it came from Andrew Torba and I didn't create it. But on a more serious note, Torba reminded Elon of the offer he made back in April. In that essay, to which I've left a link in the description, Torba listed 5 different problems with Twitter. I think the time has come to review them. So, first up, Torba says, quote, "They are fully dependent on third-party infrastructure. We are not. We built our own. Everything. Hosting, email services, analytics tools, e-commerce, payment processing, all of it. We built it all." Close quote. That's all perfectly true. And the hosting includes a server farm that Gab owns outright. Gab lacks only an internet service provider. With that, they would be totally independent. Next paragraph, quote, "Apple and Google do not allow free speech, so if you stop the censorship, they will kick Twitter from both app stores. We already solved that problem and overcame it." Close quote. Oh, Andrew solved the problem all right by coaching his users on how to create browser shortcuts. And I installed one on my phone, and it works. And in any event, desktop and laptop users can access Gab and Twitter with equal ease. Third paragraph, quote, "Twitter operates in countries where mass censorship is required by law. They have offices in these countries. They have no choice but to comply with the censorship demands of those countries or risk being shut down, fines, blah, blah, blah. We understand this very well and have dealt with it, telling those countries to get lost." Close quote. Torba is talking here about an attempt by the German government to fine Gab under the Network Enforcement Act. Torba literally told them nuts. Yeah, like the guy, the 101st Airborne Division in World War II. Nuts! In fact, Gab has no physical structure or staff in Germany. Fourth paragraph, quote, "Then there is the problem of Twitter's community itself. It skews massively left and thus anti-free speech. If you allow free speech on Twitter again, those people are absolutely going to leave because their fragile worldview can't handle the reality that free speech breaks." Close quote. Well, not exactly. Many leftist users threaten to leave, as most Twitter staff have left. But as Elon Musk gleefully pointed out, most of them came back. The users, not the staff. Twitter is addictive. Fifth paragraph, quote, "Another problem Twitter has that we don't. Total dependency on ad dollars. Gab's business model is not 100% dependent on advertising. We have several other revenue streams, including Gab Pro, the Gab Shop, and Gab Pay, our payment processor." Close quote. Elon Musk is working actively to create another revenue stream, premium service. He also announced plans to offer larger video uploads with monetization at higher rates than YouTube pays. On the other hand, many of Gab's big tech alternatives are in their infancy. Gab TV, for example, does not support monetization, limits uploads to 4 gigs, and still rejects them most of the time. I've tried expanding declarations of truth to Gab TV and I got bounced off several times. I tried submitting a ticket, but on Gab you don't submit a ticket. You've got to take part in their help chat. I tried that. And I'm still waiting for a response. And until I get one, No Gab TV for declarations of truth. I am responsible for making sure that any server I use is reliable. So, where do we go from here? Elon Musk seems to be serious. And contrary to Andrew Torba's earlier assessment, Musk now enjoys more support in the Twitter community. This could reflect users who came back to Twitter when he took the helm, or are only now speaking out just because he is running the place, and he bounced out the entire Twitter executive echelon on their ears. And Elon is giving his new supporters fresh reason to support him. He announced his intention to publish the Twitter files, having to do with the suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop story. I have a link in the description to that announcement, which started an instant debate recalling the case of Missouri versus Biden. Discovery documents in that case prove positively that Twitter was a state actor. I have links to 3 more tweets reacting to the announcement. First, Representative Lauren Boebert of Colorado's 3rd District told Elon to let the secret out. Then a user calling himself, or herself, Minister of Silly Walks, said that Twitter was never the government, it's a private company, First Amendment doesn't apply, and Twitter could silence or eject anyone for any reason or no reason, the same as you can eject people from your home. Well, maybe not your landlord if you haven't read, but you get the idea. Another user then pointed out that this doesn't apply to anyone who does it at the behest of the government. Minister of Silly Walks said, quote, never happened, unquote. Never happened? The H-E double hockey sticks, it never happened. Yet another user brought Minister up sharp by sharing direct evidence of Twitter being a state actor. Let me tell you something, Minister of Silly Walks. Your name, not mine. You might want to remember that the lead plaintiff in the state actor lawsuit is now Missouri's newest senator-elect. And if you still want to press the point, leave a comment. In any event, Elon Musk has already improved Twitter. He talks like a regular user and tunes into user concerns. That makes him a better chief administrator than Jack Dorsey or Parag Agrawal ever were. Link in the description to the article, to 9 tweets chronicling the Apple disallowance threat, to 4 more tweets in reaction to the threat, to the image questioning Tim Cook's courage, to Andrew Torba's cartoon of him as a timber wolf asking what's an app store, to Andrew Torba's essay on why Elon would be better off investing in Gab instead of Twitter, to Elon pledging to open up about the Hunter Biden laptop saga and 3 reactions to that, to my Declarations of Truth Twitter account and to Conservative News and Views. I've also left links to the awesome online store and to rsilverlines.com, as I also mentioned. You know already about how to like a video, turn on notifications, and leave a tip. On the end screen, I'm going to leave a subscribe link to my channel and links to my Twitter War playlist, the state actors video that I did, and maybe yesterday's video about the China disorders. This is Terry A. Hurlbut delivering another declaration of truth and reminding you to let the truth set you free.